Hi friends, this is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. As you can see, I have everything ready to go, and we talked about it on Tuesday, but in case you missed it, we are going to be foiling tonight with the foil of the month. I have everything from that subscription kit here, and we will go over them, and we're going to be using them with some old favorites. You guys know I like to mix it up and combine new stuff with old stuff, help you use up some stuff out of your stash. I'm going to go through and check in with everybody real quick while we give everybody else a chance to find us. So I see Miss Jackie Ann's here. Karen's checking in with us. I see Kelly and Angela's here. Let's see. I see Jennifer's checking in from Texas. Missy said, wow, I'm early. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Did I say Virginia? I see Miss Virginia is here. I see Jay is here. Oh, with some good questions too. Let's see. I will answer that in just a second. I see Miss Connie is checking in. Let's see. Terry's here checking in from New Hampshire. Welcome, welcome. Melissa's here. Somebody's account just says chew and then numbers. So I do see you. Let's see. Miss Kim is here. Sharon. I think I said Kelly already. Bernadine's checking in from DC. Kay's here. Miss Elizabeth's checking in. Oh yeah, my new nails. I went for a little frosty. A little different. I see Brennan. I think I said Miss Elizabeth. I see Jody's checking in from Iowa. Thank you, Jay. I had so much fun on Craft Roulette. I love it over there. I love Miss Mary. I see Judy's here checking in. Yeah, I gotta go through and say hi to everybody. Yes, this foil is so pretty. If you guys have been here before, you know I'm obsessed with this satin foils. I love them. Love, love, love. I see Karen found us over on Facebook. I was able to get it reconnected. Diane's checking in from Texas. Heather's checking in with us. Aloha from Hawaii. Man, we're really spreading our roots. This is great. Welcome everybody. Let's see, Jeanette's checking in. 12 degrees, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Frosted glacier powder. They could, it's hard to see. Let me see if I can show you. But there's like glittery, flaky glitters in there. And the white glows in the dark because of course it does. You guys know that's like my favorite thing. And Deb is here. Welcome, Deb. All right. I think I caught everybody. And Denise, if I didn't and I missed you somehow, I'm very sorry. But I am glad that you are all here. Look, and Shannon and Sherry, everybody's jumping in. Okay, let me walk you through what comes in the actual Foil of the Month subscription. So the most exciting thing is the actual Foil of the Month. This is Satin Pink foil, and it has that like softer, it's still metallic, but let me see if I could, this one has glitter, so it's not exactly the same, but you can see like how bright that shine is. The satin is just like a little softer, a little smoother. And the pink, right, is like just a beautiful, very Pink and Main pink. It is pretty much the same tone as the Pink and Main dyes. So if you're wondering what that color looks like and the screen might be off, check out your Pink and Main dyes because it's that pink. So we are going to be using that to make 2 foiled backgrounds with some of our new foilables. So the two things that come in that kit are these Latte Notes foilables. And Michelle did a full walkthrough of these on the Pink and Mange channel too. She does those on the 1st, I believe, of every month, the subscription walkthrough. So if you ever need them right away, check over there. So I see miss you a latte in the positive and reverse, positive and negative, sending you a latte birthday wishes. I love a coffee thing and I love a coffee pun. Hope this perks you up. Very cute. And a latte, or thanks a latte. So good. So good. And then what we're going to be using is in this coffee and donuts foilable set, which has some very, very cute little patterns. Oh, Jeanette, you're going to love it when it gets there. It's so good. So this is the background I want to use tonight. We're going to do the same panel, I think, and just make 2 cards. I think that's going to be easiest. So yeah, all of these little cups, some of them have little faces. And the same thing, you get the positive and the reverse. Maybe we'll do a positive and reverse for those, just so we have something a little bit different, like we did with our bears last month. We had the donuts, and one has that bite taken out, like the dies that are coming, or that are in the Crafty Courtyard kit, and they'll be coming individually at the end of the month. So dies, or donuts, not dies, donuts, the espresso beans, and then these are really cute little iced coffee and bobas. My girls love boba. And they have those little cute winky faces. Very kind of like kawaii style. So cute. All right. Yeah, the satins are so good, Darkian. So good. All right, and then I thought the perfect pairing for these backgrounds would be some of my favorite mugs. And so I grabbed the Mugs and Kisses, which is the Christmassy mug set, and the Cocoa for You, which is the fall one. And we're gonna use the bear and the penguin so that they're wintry and not necessarily holiday. And we're gonna use some Mugs and Kisses, and then Warm and Cozy Wishes, because I think those, again, could be holiday or they could be anytime. And we're going to make some cute backgrounds. And then I have to try this Vellum. There's new Vellum. We talked about it. It came out at the end of last month. And so I grabbed some things to try to pair with the Vellum. My camera really doesn't like when it's the whole sheet of Vellum there. Sorry, I will try to not leave it like that so it doesn't keep focusing in and out. Okay. I don't need you. I did do my nails yesterday, so I tried to wipe off everything with a wet paper towel and then a dry paper towel. Hopefully I got all of the nail dust. We will be working extra hard to make sure I dust everything off. Because those little particles will make your foil not stick right. So we're going to cut this we're going to end up trimming them down anyway, but just to start, we'll just cut them in half. They're already 5.5 tall. So we're just going to cut them to 4 1/4 wide. And we just need 1 of each. 4 right now. Leave that up while I get my foil trimmed down. And you can just cut these with scissors, but I just find that it's easier for me to get a nice clean cut with my wire trimmer. So I'm going to just go a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than my panels. And if you get the foil, order it or get the subscription, you get a lot, right? I just get a sample. So when you see that little bit that I have, that still is going to last me a long time. Because at this point I just have a lot. But don't think that that's all that you're getting, because you guys get the full roll. So Jay had asked before what my top, I think he asked for items would be for somebody who's just starting out with toner foil. Do I seem really zoomed in? That's a little better, right? And so besides a laminator or foiling machine, right, you have to have that. And I've tried a laminator in the very beginning. We used a laminator. There was like a month that the Cheerfoil came out before the mini Minc came out. And so we did that, and it's possible, but it's not as, we're not as successful as we are with our mini Minc. So a good, if you think you're going to be doing a lot of foiling, a good investment would be a proper foiling machine. I love my mini Minc. The second most important thing would be a dusting brush. So this is my Pink and Main one that has the cute little like gems in it. But some kind of brush so that you can make sure that your panels are completely dusted off. And you also need to make sure that the back of your foils is completely cleaned off. Because any dust or hairs or nail dip powder particles, I speak from experience, that are in there is going to stop the contact between your foil and your toner. Okay. You always have to pass it through in a carrier sheet. So you're gonna, the Minc comes with a couple of those, or at least one of them. And you can get more, and Pink and Main just came out with a long one so that you can put one of these full panels through, which I think is wonderful. Oh, crap by Jay. Jay said, rumor is he might be getting a Minc next week for his birthday. Happy early birthday. Okay, I always set my Minc to 3, and we let her heat up until this light turns green and she beeps. There we go. We're always going to put our foil and our toner sheet with the pretty sides facing the same way. So here we have both pretty sides facing up. And then you're going to let it go into the Minc, and it'll start rolling it by itself. You just kind of let it take over. You don't want to force it in there. It's way easier than you think it's going to be. And even when I do mess up, we've never had one that I had to scrap. We've always figured out how to use it or fix it or trim it down. So even if it's not perfect the first time, like, you're still going to have usable product. All right, so we always let it cool down completely before we peel. And just from letting these sit for a minute, I'm going to dust one more time because I had them off to the side, and that's why I'm most worried about having missed some powder. So the black pattern is the toner. So anything that's black on these panels is where the toner, or where the foil, is going to stick. So for this one, it's going to be the outlines. And for this one, we're going to peel in a second, it's going to be like the background. How will my chickens do over the winter? They're actually doing great. The kind we got are extremely cold hardy. Delaware gets cold, but it's not, obviously not like Melissa, Nova Scotia cold. But Buff Orpingtons are known specifically for being cold hardy. So we have a heat lamp on their water so it doesn't freeze, and that kind of gives them some ambient heat in the in the run, we wrapped the run and the coop in tarps so that it can't get wet or wind. And that's pretty much it. We just make sure they get out into some sunlight every day when we can. Lots of food, lots of treats, keep them moving. But yeah, they're good. All right, so we're gonna do our big peel. I don't know why it's not focusing. Hello? Can you stop? Oh, that's good. So we had two little spots. There's one little one, and there's one down here. Oh, this little something down here went weird. But absolutely perfect because we're going to trim that off anyway. And I'm sure our little rectangle situation is going to cover that. So that's a good panel. That's that reverse one. Oh, perfect, Jay. Yeah, they do good. So we also then end up with the reverse image of this, which we can then put on a toner sheet and use up the rest of that foil. And then this one, when we peel it, we're pretty much going to be left with this, where we have the background left over. Ooh, and that was a perfect. Sometimes I think I foil too quickly. Maybe I just need to give it another second. Like, it's green, but maybe we should just give it a minute after it's green, because the second one I foil is always better. But how pretty is that? Oh, I love it. So we have these. I already unplugged my Minc. So I guess we're not going to do the reverses today, but we could put both of these on two toner sheets, right? This is the reverse here, and it's gonna look like that with whatever color toner sheet we put behind being the white. And then this one is the reverse, and the same thing, this will end up looking like this, and whatever we put behind it, that toner sheet is what's gonna peek through. So we can pretty much get 4 panels out of those two. Yeah, I love the color. It's so good. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, the Minc in general, I mean, obviously I love the pink Minc, but Minc in general is just a great brand. Like, they just have a really quality product no matter which version you end up with. Okay, come on. Oh my God. Okay. I think let's prep our card bases first, and then we'll color our little mug buddies over there in a minute. So we're gonna need some vellum. And this is a 48-pound vellum. She's thick. She's thick with 2 C's. It's very sturdy. You can definitely still see through it, but it's just like a denser vellum than I'm used to. And I love it, and I'm excited to try it. So my thinking was to use, what are you? The zigzag rectangle dies, this smaller one, to cut out some vellum and then pop that there in the middle. So you're still going to be able to see the pink through it. And then we'll get the shine on the outer edges, I think. I guess in my head it was going to be a little smaller, but I think that's going to be cute. I am going to trim both of these down, but just a little, less than I originally thought I would. I'm just going to trim it. What is that? 1/8 of an inch. It's literally just going to give me a little slice of white mat around, but it'll be enough for what I like. If you don't love a white mat, you feel free to just skip this part. Okay, there's our panels. Let's get some white. Jackie Ann, I sometimes do get my Starbs, but lately I've been on a Dunkin' iced coffee kick, which is, you know, the heart wants what it wants. All right, so that's 8.5, so 4 1/4. But I do, probably once or twice a week, I still end up at Starbucks. I just haven't been as religious about it. Why? What's up? What's the scoop? How wide are you? 4 1/4. So we'll put this at 5. So I'm not wasting vellum. Oh, Virginia, I love, 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 love the Mugs and Kisses. This was my first stamp set I ever had on the design team, or like as a guest designer. But I think it was, yeah. So it has a special place in my heart. I love it. Right, see how that just has that tiny little white frame? I really like that. Oh, my husband is home from the gym and lit a fire. I can smell it. From the garage, which is not attached to the house, for the record. I think we talked about this for a minute the other day. Have any of you guys dealt with insomnia before? Does anybody have like any non-tea? I will not drink tea. I know that sounds stupid that I'm willing to stay awake if it means not having to drink tea, but unfortunately that's my stance on tea. Any non-tea related tricks for dealing with insomnia or getting over insomnia? It's been a rough 7 days. We'll put it that way. I'm going in with liquid glue because I used to think that it mattered and you could see it, but Libby said it didn't matter and to try it anyway, and I did. And I haven't had an issue, but that way it lets me kind of squish everything around until we're in a good spot. So there are our bases. So he kind of has a he shed. He goes out and plays guitar and streams out in the detached garage. I'm in a hallway between our living room is that way and the kitchen is behind me and the bathroom is right next door. So the bathroom and where I sit used to be a dining room. And we decided when we moved in that we did not need a dining room. We needed a second bathroom for 4 people. Well, at the time there was only 2.5 of us. So he goes outside to his garage. It's not even little. It's big. Okay. I think we've talked about this, but he, much like Gina's husband, he streams and plays guitar. It's his streaming gig. What did I do? Oh, it's over here. Where did I put it? I found it. I saw Karen said she takes melatonin. I'm thinking about it. I'm only concerned because I don't want to be like stuck taking it all the time. But at this point, it's better than not sleeping. I checked with my doctor. This is also like a side effect of something I'm on. And I was worried that I couldn't. The internet told me not to take melatonin before I talked to my doctor. And she said it would be fine. So maybe I'll have to try. Oh, hey, Libby. Libby's here. I think I missed it too. And Jay's craft room's taking over the living room. Oh my goodness. Michelle gave me a good idea. I'm going to look at that. Melatonin. I've been trying to read versus scroll on my phone, and it's really not helping like I hoped it would. Increasing working out. Yeah, and Brennan's solution is just to drink more energy drinks during the day. Benadryl. See, Benadryl doesn't make me sleepy. The doctor said that too, and I was like, I don't think that's going to work. Oh, Denise, you have comfort sleepy movies? I used to have comfort sleepy movies when the babies were babies. All right, I'm going to try. Yeah, see, Pamela said melatonin didn't work either. I'm going to look back through your comments when we're done and see what I can figure out. For this vellum, I was thinking it could be very cute to add in some of these little corners from our new corner dies, because the rectangle die that we used, the zigzag, has that stitched line in it. So I thought kind of playing that up could be very cute. But my concern is if we're going to have room around our stamped images. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Okay. I was thinking that one, and then maybe this fun like loopy one, because it kind of looks like a heart, and there's hearts on our little backgrounds. All right, so that's just going to take me a second, but look, we can use up our scraps. Oh no, poor Libby. Libby, I didn't get to tell them in general, so I'll tell them now. Everyone here should keep an eye out for Pink and Main's socials and email tomorrow. You're going to want to be on top of it tomorrow. And if you know what it is, don't say anything in the comments. Let it be a surprise for everybody else. Okay? But definitely check out Pink and Main's socials or my socials tomorrow. All right. I'm going to try to die cut these as quick as I can over here. There's two. Just going to like pick up and plop these down a couple times over here. Talk amongst yourselves. Perfect. We're going to get 3 sets just out of that one piece of scrap. So that's good. I love using up scraps, but I'm really bad at it if I don't do it in the moment. If I put them away they'll never get used. I have a bin of scraps that live next to my head while I'm crafting, and I never, ever, ever pull from there. I feel like at this point I should stop saving them, but I feel even worse. Like, these are just the ones that live next to my head on my desk, and then I have bins underneath that have more. Judy said, I know. It's top secret, Judy. Top secret till tomorrow. Let's see. Hey, E. I don't think I saw you jump in. Oh, goodness. Cutting off caffeine. So my version of that is that I definitely cut out my afternoon Dr. Pepper. But that was like at the beginning of November. So that's really not helping because I already did that. All right. One of these is going to get these little hearts. Oh, you don't have your bed, do you? You're just laying on the floor being a sad dog. Luna is a sad dog. Libby, I can? Are you sure? That's so exciting. I'm nervous to say it. All right, well, Libby said I can. So the announcement is coming tomorrow. Tickets are going to be available tomorrow for a virtual class that's happening in April to celebrate Pink and Main's birthday. So we're having a birthday bash class. So this is like the spring birthday version of the Christmas class that happened, but there's some new teachers. I'm not going to say all the teachers. I'll leave that to be a surprise for tomorrow, but I will tell you 2 teachers that are definitely going to be on it. Miss Libby is going to be teaching, and I'm going to be teaching, and I'm so excited. This will be my first virtual class with Pink and Main, and my first live class, like card making ever, like live virtual, I guess, because I don't really think of these as classes. We just like hang out. Oh, Karen got hers today. Yeah, so some people know because if you took the Christmas class, you got early access. So that's how some people know ahead of time, and you're all very good secret keepers. So yeah, I'm so excited. And when you see who the other teachers are, you're going to freak out, because when I saw who the other teachers are, I freaked out. I actually started crying. My husband was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "No, it's amazing." So definitely something you're going to want to check out. If you still have people asking you what you want for Christmas, send them that link. Tell them you need to take a class in April so you can stock up on birthday cards and learn some cool tips and tricks. Kelly got hers too. Oh my goodness, Melissa. I'm like trying to figure out, I have my stepmom is from Canada and she goes home every once in a while. And, but I don't think she's going to be there before April. I would literally try to have her like take it up there and then send it to you from up there. Unless somebody from Border Patrol is listening to me, and that was just a joke. I wasn't serious about that at all. All right, so those are going to be our very cute little frames. Yes, Elizabeth, some heavy hitters for sure. All right, we need our penguin and our bear. It's 2 days, Melissa, again. 2 days, hour and a half-ish classes, live. And then you have access to them after, from what I understand. So don't think that you like have to, you know, not move from your spot for 2 days straight. I think that we like schedule breaks and stuff. So there you go. Libby said it'll be April 18th and 19th, 2 days, 8 teachers, plus a special bonus video. It's $130 early bird price, and that includes a kit that comes with all of the products that we're going to be using to teach the classes. And from what I saw, the kit itself is worth, I think it was like $160 or more than $160. So like not even counting the class part, it's a good deal. Shanna, I freaking love these stamp sets. Both of them. They're the cutest. That, the Santa mug was that my first like YouTube, Pink and Main YouTube video I ever made. Which feels like a zillion years ago. All right, that was good. That was some good stamping. I'm stamping on our, wow, words are hard today. I'm stamping with asphalt ink on ice rink cardstock. That's what I was trying to say. And we're going to be coloring with Copics. Nope, we're going to be coloring with Olos. I promise that was me trying to say in my head, don't say Copic. We're coloring with Olos on our ice rink cardstock because it holds up really well on those Olo markers. I do still have it on my list to try the Olo paper, for the record. Oh, we're guessing. We're playing some guessing games in the comments there. Interesting guesses. All right, for our penguin, we're going to start with some cool grays, some CG9, and I'm going to put the darkest areas here on the outside. Oh my gosh, hold on one second. Let me get this dog a bed. There you go. You would think her bed wasn't just like in the next room. Okay. Brennan. You're funny. Maybe. All right, I'm going to go under the little belly and on the bottom sides of the arms. All right, and we have our cool gray 7 to start blending that out. I feel like that's making a shadow. We'll pull that across. Start filling in some of that white space. Oh, went up into his belly a little bit. That's okay. We'll be able to fix that. Jay, yeah. Cats are fussy like that. She just doesn't want to be left out. And we have hardwoods, so I get it. She doesn't want to lay on the hardwood floor in the winter. And she can't be in the other room because I'm not in the other room. My husband got so frustrated with me on Thanksgiving. I was in the kitchen like most of the day for like a good chunk anyway. And I gave up and just brought her bed in there. Because then at least she stays in one spot. right? Like she's gonna fight to be in the kitchen either way. At least if I put her in, if I bring her bed in, I can decide where in the kitchen she's gonna stay because she won't get out of the bed. But if I leave her to her own devices, she's everywhere. But he hates when I take her bed in there. He's like, it's the kitchen, she shouldn't be in there. Oh well. I feel like I missed something. Well, Libby, when you figure out when you're gonna put it live, let me know, because I won't put mine live until you put Pink and Main's live. Unless I'm allowed to put it live at some time. Text me. All right, I'm coming in with that cool gray 1 to do a little outline on the face and under the scarf on the belly. And then just gonna tap the edges of that with the cool gray 0, just so we don't have any harsh edges. We need some coffee or hot chocolate or something in our mug. So I'm gonna come in with that OR 4.8 from the outer edges. And a couple little lines there in the middle. And then 4.7 to fill that in will give just like a little bit of variation without being too crazy. There you go. Okay. And we have these really pretty pinks to kind of play off of. So what looks like a good pink? I think those pinks we used the other day are actually going to be great. Right, the 5.7, 5.5, like those look pretty close. Kelly, I'm not sure when those Olos are shipping. And I'm not positive that I've seen an update from Olo about it, but I will keep an eye out. So for my scarf, I'm following the artist drawn lines here and kind of emphasizing this fold in the scarf. And then where one flap overlaps the main piece, there's going to be a shadow. And up here where there's a fold in the fabric, there's going to be a shadow. And then we'll do the handle while we're at it. I thought about doing it black, but I think it'll be cute to pull in more pink. So our darkest pink is going to go at the top and bottom. Oh, I don't want to use that, I don't think. I think we're staying pretty light on this one. So from 5.5, we're going to jump down to 5.3 and start pulling that color towards the center. We'll come on either side. Well, I guess we're pretty much up on the edge on that part. And then these little tassels can just get filled in now too. This is blending pretty well, but it still is a significant jump. So just make sure that you're overlapping your colors, and that will help get that smooth blend. There we go. How stinking cute. So the Olo markers are like half of a marker each. And the ink is just in this section. Olo has a really cool picture on, I think it's Instagram and probably on their website too, of how there's like a little straw almost that comes from the nib down into the tube. And that's what lets the ink like pool through. And then you can decide if you want 2 different colors or if you want to get the chisel and then the brush tip of the same color. And these come with these little connectors. So you can just, I think Kelly Taylor still has all of her, I think it's her, still has all of hers like separated. She hasn't connected them so it's easier to find the colors. I like having mine connected, and I just kind of made my own system. So yeah, let's finish our penguin before we jump over. I'm going to leave those colors out though for our bear scarf. We'll do the same colors. And we're just going to give a little orange to this beak. Okay, so Elizabeth checked and Olo's website says mid-December. So hopefully any day. All right, there's our penguin. Adorable. I think I want a polar bear. So we're going to bring in some warm grays for our polar bear. Maybe. Oh, I try to keep them. Well, I had them in color order really good, and then I messed that up. So now I just try to at least keep all of my neutrals down at the bottom. But my warm gray had tried to escape. All right, so we're going to use that warm gray 3. And just like we did with that penguin, I'm adding the darkest color to the outside edges of the mug. We can add a little at the base of the ears too. And a kind of over his little snout. I will pretend in my head that's not printed on the cup. It's like, you know, a 3D effect on the cup. And then under his little arms, around his booty, and the bottoms of his little feet. And then I guess under his scarf would also for sure have some shadow. So that was 3. Then we're gonna use the WG1. Oh look, Christian. Yeah, Christian said, I store mine with the jumper and a refill cartridge. So that way the marker and the refill are together, which is so smart. I love that idea. I don't think I realized that the refill cartridges could be connected to it. That's brilliant. All right, my warm gray 1, we're just going to start pulling that color out. And the trick to, well, my trick for polar bears is using some grays and bringing in some color, but leaving enough white paper that it still reads as white. So the last color is going to be our warm gray 0, but I'm not going to fill in over the face. I'm just pulling enough color through to soften up that edge. Same down here. We still want a little hint of white. And I'll add a little bit of that at the bottom, but we're going to leave his nose really clear too. All right, then I'm going to leave that a second to dry. We'll add our coffee color back in. That's not what I used. Where did it go? Where did it go? Down there. It's not where it was supposed to go. Oh, you just transfer the nib over. That's so smart. So same coffee shading as we did before. Just outer edges and then a little bit of texture through the middle there. For our scarf seam combo, I'm also going to add some of that pink to the ears. And the only difference for this guy is that the scarf is kind of on the other side. So I'm going to put the shadow to the left instead of the right. We can do a little bit there, but definitely pushing that part. And then there isn't a fold drawn in on this one, so I'm going to add my own shadow, kind of leaving a little bit of space at the top where it's kind of wrapped. Judy, I have a pumpkin and Halloween, like a virtual course that I made that I have up on Etsy. And then I'm not positive exactly what my class for April is yet, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that coloring is going to be a good chunk of it because you guys know that is what I do. And then if you haven't found my YouTube channel, it's listed in the description, and I color a lot over there. So between my Pink and Main lives, my YouTube, and then I'm trying to work on another virtual coloring class for like winter themed. I was going to try for holiday and it just didn't happen. This fall was not kind to me mentally. So I did not have it in me to, I need to blend out that ear to get everything done that I wanted to get done. And I know you all know exactly how that goes. There you go. The virtual event will basically be a Caitlin coloring class. Perfect. Libby, I'm glad you and I are on the same page. I'm filling in the nose and his little toe beans with Warm Gray 9, which is basically black, but has the same undertone as the warm gray colors that are in there. Right? Libby said, I said to Michelle to make sure there's something in the kit for me to color. Oh, I love it. Hey, Mindy. How are you? I love when you drop in. All right. Let's see. I was watching some of Mindy's class from the last virtual event. What are you? Cocoa for you. Goes in here, and we need our bear. Okay, and then we still need our sentiments too. Yeah, we made some very fun foiled backgrounds with the new foil of the month. And now we need some little guys to go on the front. Oh, Karen said, I just mailed out 55 Christmas cards. It took 5 hours to fill out. I do not envy you. I would love to say that I had that many done and sent, but at the same time, I do not want to spend 5 hours doing that. That does not sound like fun. Oh, thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to make one of my, like my own coloring classes, a Pink and Main themed one. Maybe some of my favorite Pink and Main stamps from over the years. All right, let's trim these guys out. Okay, and then we have to add some white highlights to them. We don't have to, but you know I'm going to. Okay, so a bear for that, and a penguin for that. Right, we're getting there. We're in the home stretch. So you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that it could be cute if they fit to use the Warm Winter Wishes dies instead of these sentiments. Because now that I'm looking, I don't know how I feel about adding like a banner. Let me see this die. I have it right here. She might be too tall. Yeah, she's a little too tall. Okay. It was not meant to be. All right, so I don't want to stamp on the vellum. I know you can. There's like certain ways you can do that, but I'm not going to do that. Not Autumn Blessings. Warm and Cozy. And it doesn't, I mean, they don't have to stay with their coordinating ones either. You can mix and match those. Put my time management's on point. It feels chaotic to me, Elizabeth, but I'm glad that you see it that way, that it comes off that way. When I first started doing my Pink and Main lives 6 million years ago, I don't love how that is sitting. What about You Perk Me Up? That's cute. I did my lives in less than a half hour or less. Can you imagine? Now I'm lucky if I can keep it under an hour, and like a little over an hour is generally my goal. Right? The corner dies are cute. I mean, I knew they would be good, but they're like even cuter than I thought they were going to be. All right, let's stamp this. think I'm going to stamp in black so we have something that kind of coordinates or brings out the black stamped images we have. And I think I want these to be pretty small. So we're going to not worry about separating them. Yeah, I've been on a roll with the 2 cards thing lately, because it does feel like while we already have everything out, it really doesn't take much longer to just make the 2, especially when you're like foiling, right? Like once you have everything set up and warmed up, you might as well just do more than one. I have to find my pink microfiber towels again. They got washed, and I'm pretty sure they just got put away in the wrong closet. All right, who do you belong to? That's a scarecrow. Also keep in mind that when left to my own devices, my cards, a single card usually takes me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half when I'm like puttering around on my own and just like, you know, being silly. So don't think that I'm this efficient all the time, because that is definitely not the case. All right, I'm going to line that edge of that S up with the plastic side of my wire trimmer, so then I can do the same thing with the C over here, and they'll be pretty equidistant. This side was crooked to start. Same thing, and we'll just trim off a little from that one. Okie dokie. I'm gonna attach these to the front of my panel first with my liquid glue, or you could use easy tear tape, whatever you want, but the corners definitely adhered really easily with that liquid glue. And I think that that kind of like tucked into the corners there is very cute. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of my liquid glue on the back of my vellum, just where my white cardstock is. So that way we don't see any of that glue through the panel. And I love popping up my vellum with foam, but because we took all that time to foil this, I do want to be able to see that pattern through really well. So I'm not going to pop it up. When you pop it up, the vellum gets more transparent, right? You can see if I hold my penguin up, you can't see that at all versus when it's touching. So there isn't a wrong way. What was the die I used to cut out the vellum? It's the zigzag stitched rectangles. It looks like this. It comes in 2 sizes in there, and then you get some really cute word dies. So use the smaller of the 2. I definitely forgot to put that in the description because I wasn't sure if I was using it or not when I put in my supplies list. I try hard to make sure that I at least have an idea of what products we're going to use. But sometimes it's like as I go to sit down, I'm like, oh, we should use that. And then I end up grabbing something random. Thanks, Jay. I think they're turning out pretty good. All right, well, this one is longer, so it doesn't want to sit in between those corners as nicely. So I'm going to tuck it under my penguin because I think then they're like a united front. This one I like separate because it's like framed really nicely around those corners, but this one, to have it that low, it would be hitting those little loops. So okay. And it seems like the, oh, Mindy, my YouTube channel name, just, you know, mine is Caitlin Annalie Cards. It's in the description. It's linked in the description. We're on YouTube. Oh, goodness. All right. So obviously these need to go on card bases. If Misty's here, she would tell me that they're not cards. They're just card fronts. And I know, but in my world, you know, they'll get on card bases eventually. So let me hold them up so you can see. We have that beautiful pink satin foil that we used on our background. And don't forget, we still have 2 more card fronts basically worth of the reverse images that we'll use on toner another time, the toner sheets. So really you could get 4 card backgrounds out of that little bit. So there's our little bear to perk you up. And then these definitely want like something heavy to weigh them down for a minute. Our more solid pink background with our little penguin. I just think they're so cute. These just need like an acrylic block or like a book for a minute just to hold them down. But yeah, that is our 2 cards with our foil of the month. And in case you missed it, go back and watch Tuesdays because we played with the stamp and die of the month, which were these adorable little chocolates. I love you a choco-lot. That we had some fun coloring and glittering, made a little circle flip card with them. So that is our subscription products for the week, cards for the week. And yeah, I just think they're turned out so cute. I'm loving it. Obviously, we're in a very pink realm, and this could be Valentine's for sure. This could be if you wanted it to be, but I just like that these are kind of like all-purpose winter cards, right? They could be just like a friendship, a thank you for somebody maybe who you want to send a holiday card to, but they don't celebrate Christmas, right? Just you have options. So that's our projects for this week. We will be back here on Tuesday next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what we're going to do. I was thinking that I want to use, let me grab them, these snowmen from last year because I just freaking love them, the Snow Pals. So if you have an idea of something you would like to see done with these snowmen, shaker card, slimline, another flip card, envelope pop-up, shadow box, like whatever. If think of something you want to see them on and leave me comments and I'll come back and check on Monday. Yeah, all of these will release, well, not him. All of these foils and the new stamp of the month will release the 3rd Friday of the month if you're not a subscriber to those projects. But if you aren't and you want to be, you should look into it on Pink and Main's website because you get a really good discount. So yeah, leave me ideas and inspiration for this one for Tuesday. I will see you guys back here then. Thank you all so much for coming to hang out and asking so many questions. I love to see the chat popping off. It makes it so much more fun for me. Elizabeth said maybe a shaker slimline. We have Pink and Main has slimline shaker covers, so we could arrange that, Elizabeth, if that's what you really want. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I will be back here with you on Tuesday. Be safe and warm, and until next time, happy crafting, guys. Have a good night.